Elena is a tricky yet rewarding character once you get into her groove. Her Linux Song special allows you to keep your opponent on their toes with its various follow-ups while also bypassing projectiles. Her wide variety of anti-airs, once used properly, can force your opponent to play the ground game where Elena can harass with her hit confirmable buttons. Add on her ability to heal herself with her level 2 super art along with her high damaging combos that are drive efficient, Elena can be a menace in the right hands. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Cusco on the ones and twos, doing it big, never small, and on the second day after Elena's release, I reached Grandmaster rank with her. Picking up a new character can be daunting, so I crafted this guide in hopes of accelerating your progress. I am a competitive Street Fighter 6 player since launch, and I have been competing within fighting games across various titles for over 15 years. We'll be discussing how to utilize her normals, be threatening in the neutral, as well as how to land her damaging combos. Grab your notepad, plug in your controller of choice, because you're about to learn how to play Elena at a high level. Starting off, we're going to be looking at Elena's normals, beginning with her stand jab. Her stand jab is a very awkward button. It's not a button that you're going to use quite often, if I'm being honest here. It is 5 frames, so it's not a 4-frame one, so it's a little bit slower. You can't chain it into another jab. It's just a straight hit that comes out like that. And then the range isn't the greatest. It's like slightly better than her crouch jab, but even then, I feel like it's not as much of a big deal to which you'll use that more than her crouch jab. So the stand jab is +4 on hit, and then on block, it is -2. But if we look at her crouch jab, which is something you're going to be using quite often, it comes out at 4 frames. It has good range, almost the same as the stand jab range, but like a little bit shorter, but it's still really good distance on it. It's +5 on a hit. On block, it is -1 as opposed to the stand jab's -2. With Elena's stand jab, she can combo into her crouch jab that will connect. Her crouch jab, 3 chains, and since it's +5 on a hit, you can go into her stand light kick like that and it will still combo. Speaking of her stand light kick is super good in my quite honest opinion. It kind of reminds me of Ken in a sense. It's like a stop sign as well as pre-patch Cammy. It can definitely slow down an opponent that's playing pretty aggressive because they have to deal with that attack. And if you do some drills, you can get comfortable with essentially buffering stand light kick into a special like her DP, and you're able to react and essentially get a confirm. So I'll show that as an example of how like stand light kick can be a really good button. Like that. So the stand light kick is good to stop your opponent in their tracks, and not only that, if you're buffering a motion like a DP, and as we saw earlier, my standing heavy kick got interrupted and you can kind of tell by the frames, you can go straight into a DP, which makes her stand light kick game really good. But we'll talk more about special moves a little bit later on in the video. Stand medium punch is an interesting button. It comes out at 8 frames, it's +3 on hit, and on block it is -3. But this button is actually dynamic in the sense that if you're close, it's +3 on hit, but if you're further away, it's actually +5. And this applies to block as well, and it's -1. Now, stand medium punch isn't special cancelable, but there is a target combo out of it if you do an additional stand medium punch, which it looks like that, and it does combo, and you're able to special cancel it this time around. I will say you are able to delay it, but at the same time, if you delay it too long, then it actually won't combo. So like that, it didn't combo. And then not only that, if you actually land this attack on block, then it is very punishable at -10. And if the opponent is crouching, it will actually whiff as well. So stand medium punch can be used, but at the same time, do take into consideration that you can't throw this button out willy-nilly because you are very punishable if they are ducking or if they just block it. Elena's crouch medium punch is pretty good. It comes out at 8 frames. It is hit confirmable, and it does special cancel as well, so you're able to get a sequence like that going. But yeah, it's good as a whiff punishment tool. It's good to go into drive rush afterwards. When you're playing Elena, you are going to use this button quite often just to keep people in check, and then try to do like hit confirms out of it as well. It definitely is a good button offensively and defensively. It's +1 on hit, but on block, if you're very close, it is -4, so you are able to be punished for it. I mean, it's -4 wherever you're at, but do keep in mind that if you are too close, you will get punished, but if you play at this distance, you actually can't get punished for it. Stand medium kick is really good that Elena has. It doesn't have amazing range, but it does come out at 6 frames. If you're point blank, it is actually +1 on block, and then on hit, it is +5, so it does go straight to stand light kick. So this is going to be a button you're going to use to apply pressure and to keep pressure going. Say first you have them in a corner, you know, they just have to hold that on wake up, and then your plus, so you can go into crouch jab and it'll be your turn. And this is really good out of drive rush as well, as it is +5. So this is definitely going to be a move you're going to be using a lot when you're very up close to the opponent. It's special cancelable too, so you can even drive rush out of it. You can do special moves out of it. It's a really good button. Elena does have a target combo out of stand medium kick, being a stand medium kick into heavy kick. This is punch, ball, and block, so it's not going to be plus, like say for instance if you're doing it alone, like just the stand medium kick. It's -8, so you can definitely get punished for it, but it is good because you can special cancel it. And you are able to do some sneaky Linux stuff that we'll discuss a little bit further into this video. Elena's crouching medium kick is pretty controversial in the sense that it is a mediocre button. It comes out at 9 frames, which is pretty slow compared to characters like Mai, Ken, Chun-Li, where they have 7-frame crouch medium kicks, and then Cammy, Ryu, etc. have an 8-frame crouch medium kick. So it's 9 frames, and not only that, you can't special cancel it, so you can't even drive rush cancel out of it, like how, you know, the Street Fighter 6 thing. Low forward drive rush, the classic. She can't do it, and it's 9 frames. It's +4 on hit, so you're able to go straight into a crouch jab like that. But at the same time, if I set up to block, it is -4 on block, and as you saw right there, she punished me for being too close. It's -4, so you have to space it out. So her crouch medium kick is usable, but you can't autopilot it, so you definitely have to space it out. People are going to be more prone to walking back against Elena just because she doesn't have any threatening lows, but you can definitely chip away with her crouch medium kick. So yeah, you just have to slowly chip away, and which is, her crouch medium kick kind of reminds me of like a Mortal Kombat down 4. Can't really special cancel to anything, and this is more so used to get frame advantage and do some little bit of damage over time. Elena does have a target combo out of her crouch medium kick. So that's how you're supposed to get her to special cancel it, because you can't do it naturally. But the problem with that is that it does unfortunately whiff on crouching opponents, because of course it does. So if you hit them like that, it will whiff, so you will just be completely exposed. Even if it's a punish counter state, it will still whiff. So that's very unfortunate. So you don't want to go for it that often, because sure, they might be walking backwards, like I'll set Mai to walk backwards, like, and get clipped, but at the same time, like, what if they walk back and then they crouch block and then you just let the whole string whiff? It is definitely a do it at your own caution. I don't recommend doing it like as a whiff punch, just because how wildly inconsistent it is. It might be used for like some type of combos, but yeah, it's very unfortunate. So we just got done talking about her mediocre crouch medium kick and how to use it to your advantage. She also has a overhead, which is really good. If you have an overhead Street Fighter 6, it is a godsend. It's really good for closing out matches. Not just that, she does have a follow-up, unlike majority of characters. If he does it again, she can double the damage for 1200. It is punch, ball, and block, but that's something if you're feeling a little bit confident that they're not going to block it, you can definitely get more damage out of it. And then just by single hit, it is actually safe on block. Like, there's just no overhead, so it's -2. If you finish the string, it is -14, so it is death on block. What's good about overheads in Street Fighter 6 is that you can drive rush, and then you do the overhead, and you're plus enough to get a combo. And not only that, it is plus on block as well if they block it, so it's +2. Overhead is something you're going to be using quite often as Elena, just because it's really good, like I said, closing out matches, and then you can also start some pressure by being plus or just them not blocking their dome. Elena has pretty good heavy buttons. Looking at her standing fierce, it has decent range. It comes out at 12 frames. It's -2 on block and +2 on hit. What's good about this is that if they're blocking, it does quite a chunk of drive gauge consumption on the opponent. So landing 2 of those on block took away 1 full bar drive gauge meter. It's really good to chip away your opponent with this attack right here in the neutral. Not only that, it does have a follow-up with a target combo, and this is actually hit confirmable. So if you see that it lands, you can go straight into the target combo. But the one downside I would say about this move is that it's not special cancelable. So you can't go into any of your specials, you can't go into super, you can't drive impact. The only thing you can do is do the target combo, but you can do some follow-ups like that. Speaking of confirmable buttons, she actually has a unique attack, being forward fierce, forward heavy punch, in which she goes really far, but that range is actually really ridiculous actually. It does have a pretty slow startup at 16 frames, but as you guys can see, it goes basically like the entire screen. This button is actually hit confirmable as well. So she does have a target combo after that, in which you just mash the heavy punch button to get the full animation. So this button is good at a distance like that, but do keep in mind that since it is slow, you can get counterattacked pretty fast by like say like a crouch medium kick or like a stand medium punch by Mai or her stand fierce. So if you're doing this attack, definitely get into the rhythm, no pun intended because we're playing Elena, because it can be definitely interruptible due to a slow startup. I do want to discuss the frames of it. So just landing the 1 on block is -4, so that's impossible to punish if you're this far away. Even right here is probably still not going to be punished. Yeah, even on point blank I did that to her and she wasn't able to punish with her 4 frame. But if you do the full target combo, you will definitely get punished for that. So it's -16 if you let the full string rip, and then it is -11 if you do the 2 hits. Her crouching heavy punch is a move that you're going to be using a lot in combos. It comes out at 9 frames. It's actually a pretty good anti-air as well. So if they try to jump, you can definitely get stuffed out of it, so you're gonna have to do this pretty early. But it does work as an anti-air if you're not like too comfortable with DPs, which I mean that's something I would highly recommend learning because Elena's DP is really good. But that is an anti-air just in case if you don't have your DPs ready yet. But what's also good about this button is that it is special cancelable, unlike her stand fierce, you know, where that's not special cancelable. She can special cancel the crouch fierce, and it actually forces a stand. So if I have the opponent crouching, it will force stand. So a move like this whiffs on crouching opponents, but the crouch fierce forces the stand, allowing me to land a combo like that. Her standing roundhouse, also known as her standing heavy kick, is my favorite button that Elena has, in which it has pretty good range as she kind of leaps forward and does this big foot swing. It is +2 on a hit, comes out at 12 frames, and then on block it is punishable. It's -4, so you can't do this point blank, otherwise you'll get punished. But if you do it at a further distance, you are actually completely safe. So if I do it right here, I can't get punished, but I'll do it point blank, you will get punished for it. So definitely, it's kind of like using a crouch medium kick. You can't do it too close, otherwise you'll get punished. So definitely do this button at a comfortable distancing between your opponent. Now this button reminds me of Cammy's stand heavy kick. And I mean, I mentioned Cammy a handful of times in this video just because I main Cammy, so I kind of compare some characters to her a lot. But I do like the stand roundhouse just because it does really good drive gauge chip on the opponent. It's relatively safe as long as you don't do it super close to the opponent. Yeah, it has really good distance on it too. Just look at the range. It's really good. If say for instance it lands, I'll say a counter, like say for instance a punish counter, I'll use like an actual like example here. So there we go. It does cause a float state and you're able to combo. You can even do like a sweep, right? Yeah, you can sweep as well if you don't want to spin the bar. Elena has pretty good range on her sweep, so this is kind of one of your go-tos when it comes to whip punishing. Using a sweep as a whip punish is very reliable and goes really far, and then you're allowed to start your pressure. She does have a slide, which is really good to keep people on their toes. It is definitely punishable on block if you do it really close, but if you space it out, it is actually safe on block. So if I'm really close to Mai like that, I am -9, so I'm definitely gonna get super punished for that. But if I'm like, right, that's -5. Ooh, yeah, that's -2 right there. Try to punish me now. She has an evasive back heavy kick. It's one of her unique attacks. It actually goes over lows. It's pretty neat. Ooh, that was kind of sick. So that move is really good in evading lows. What's really good too is that you can use this when, say for instance, time in the corner and you think they're gonna wake up and grab, like in a way kind of like shimmy them, knock her down like that, you know, tech, I get grabbed, boom, got her. You can do something. Oh, I think it's DP. It's DP. Not heavy, but medium lights would work. Yeah. That's definitely a good like way to say, first, if you want to close out a match, if you think they're gonna go for a grab, you can do that as an evasive maneuver and then DP. And then like I said, it's really good at crushing low attacks. It's +3 on hit, and then it's -3 and you're like out of harm's way. So pretty good button. Elena does have the typical jump-ins, jumping heavy kick, which can be a little bit tricky because sometimes it hits 2 hits and can kind of dwarf your combo timing. I can't even get it to come out consistently. Yeah, like right there. And so using a jump in heavy kick can be annoying because of how like not consistent it is, because sometimes you'll get the 2 hits to come out. So you can go for stand fierce. As you know, it's just gonna hit 1 time. It is less plus on hit, so you know you sacrifice some frames there, but you can go into like crouch fierce there. You can't go into stand fierce because stand fierce is 12 frames. You're only plus 10 after the jump in. She does have cross off with jump medium kick and jump light punch. The jump light punch actually does have a target combo, so you can do something like that for more damage. And then she does have another target combo that's really good for an anti-air. Think of it as like hell attack. So she can do jump medium punch and just jump fierce. And it's really good about this. You can do like follow-ups like that. One of the many things that is good as far as anti-air goes for Elena, she has a handful of anti-air options, so that's something to definitely have in your arsenal when looking for people jumping in. Elena's throws aren't the greatest. See, I'm gonna do a regular throw right here, and we're basically full screen. If I do a back throw, same thing, we're pretty far away from each other. So if I have them in the corner, I'm very far. I can't walk up and grab them. I can't do a traditional throw loop, you know, Street Fighter 6 special, as I'm way too far away. So instead, what she has to do, she has to drive rush to get her throw loop. Like that. It can be a little bit tricky as well. Timing definitely does come into play, as well as drive gauge consumption. There we go. What's good about the throw is that you can spin the drive rush also to do into stand medium kick, and that's 11 frames with the drive rush and the counter hit on top of it, so you can go into like crouch fierce and stuff like that. So looking at Elena's special moves, she has a pretty good variety of them. We have Rhino Horn, which is a move that goes horizontally across the screen quite far. It's mainly used as like, say, combo enders, and it does have pretty good corner carry, so it can go something like. Keep in mind that it does whiff on crouchers. I feel like Elena has a lot of like keep in mind stuff like whiffing on crouchers and etc. But yeah, it will whiff on crouchers, light, medium, heavy. And that's EX as well. It'll all whiff. So say for instance, if you want to end it in a combo, you can have it either airborne, or you can do, say for instance, what we saw earlier with the crouch heavy punch. Crouch heavy punch will force to stand, so you're able to go into the Rhino Horn. The EX version, you're able to follow up. Say for instance, have her in a corner. You can do something like that. Elena has a DP being Scratch Wheel, which I feel like really complements her kit, forcing people to play the ground game. So yeah, this is the light, medium, and then heavy. The heavy version can combo off of like, say, light starters, so I can do something like this. You can do that if you would like. Really good anti-air, and it does serve as a invisible wake up too, like reversal. So if someone tries to do like drive rush pressure, you can call it out by doing EXDP. So it's very fortunate for Elena to have a reversal EXDP. Elena's song is where Elena gets tricky. Of course, we'll go forward punch, so she does a little twirl. Depending on what version you do, she goes further. So that's heavy, that was light, this is medium. And you're able to actually go through projectiles with this maneuver. So you can't necessarily react to it at times. Sometimes you gotta do it preemptively depending on how far you are. Yeah, if you're further away, you can see it coming as like Mai's projectile, so it goes pretty slow. But a lot of times you are gonna do it preemptively, and it does have follow-ups after that. So that's gonna be the light kick. So these follow-ups you do forward plus a button. So that's one follow-up in which it is -5, I believe, on block. But when spaced properly, it's actually safe because, you know, they're just not in range to punish you. So yeah, it's -5. But something like that is -5 and we're pushed back this far. There's no way that you're going to get punished for that. The medium follow-up is actually like a combo starter. So it's -9 on block, so you can definitely get punished for it. But on hit, it does launch them up in the air, so you can do like a DP afterwards. And then the last one being forward heavy kick is a overhead. which is +2 on hit. And then on block, actually, it's -3, so you're safe. There's actually another follow-up besides the light kick, medium kick, and heavy kick, in which if you do forward punch, you get to spin again. And you can actually loop this infinitely. Just hold forward and punches, you can keep looping and you can keep twirling on Mai. You might be wondering what the additional spin does. It actually buffs up her attacks out of Lennox Song. So if you saw earlier, that was that. But if you do an extra spin to it, it actually becomes +1 and becomes a 2-hitting attack. That one becomes -4, that was a medium after the double twirl. And then as we saw earlier, as that being an overhead, -3, it actually becomes plus when you add in the second twirl being +3. Here's what it'll look like on hit with some of these attacks. So something like that, it does land if you're safe versus near the corner. You can't get a DP afterwards, as an example. And that's just like the pop-up like we saw on the non-charge version. And then you can actually combo after the mallet smash. Like that. Pretty sneaky stuff Elena got with this Lennox Song stuff. The EX version of Lennox Song grants you access to the charged up versions of the follow-ups like immediately. So as opposed to doing the double twirl to get the mallet smash to come out, you can just do EX, make the mallet smash to come out immediately. Not just that, you enter invuln frames quicker. As you see that on the 10th/11th frame, you enter like the invincibility state in which you're able to go through projectiles. With the EX version, you're able to enter it even quicker. So like that, I'm trying to react and go through the fan. With the EX version, I was able to go and I can react to it and do the EX version. That's kind of crazy, actually. That's like what Cammy had, and they took it out from Cammy and gave it to Elena. Anyways, up next we do have her spinning scythe, in which this is going to be an attack that you're going to be using a lot in combos. It is punishable on the block, but you can do it out of lights. That was the light version. This is the medium version, and this is the heavy version. On block, it can be interrupted right before the dirt hit comes out. So it is interruptible. The last hit just doesn't even attack them if they're crouching. But regardless, if they're standing or ducking, they can definitely punish that. But yeah, they'll just be punishing after the second hit. What's neat about the heavy version is that you are able to do a follow-up attack like this, and that had no problem hitting as opposed to it hitting grounded. So since it was airborne, I don't have to worry about the opponent having a hurt box that's too small that would get it to whiff otherwise. Lennox Song actually makes its return, as after the second hit of the scythe attack, you can actually twirl out of it to do some crazy mix-ups. Like that. So I'm able to block in time. We'll do some follow-ups as an example. So that was the forward light kick. Because she was mashing, she actually ended up getting hit for that. But if you try to go for the overhead, the crouch jab will get beat. You can definitely catch opponents off guard with that twirl. Say for instance you want to go for the damage, or if you want to go for the mix-ups. The X version of the scythe attack comes out a bit faster than the heavy version. So that's 24 frames, and that's 18 frames. And what this means is that, say for instance, if you're doing a crouch medium punch, you wouldn't be able to get this to combo because the heavy version is too slow on the startup. But instead, if you go for EX, it would actually combo into it, in which you're able to do the follow-ups like you can do out of the heavy version. Elena's last special move is her moon glider, in which she does like a little back sway into like a leg drop. So this is the light, it's -3 on block, medium is -2, and then heavy is -2. As you see, the heavy one has longer startup, but she goes back even further. And then on hit, +1, +2, +2, light, medium, heavy. What's really sneaky about this attack, you can actually use this offensively and defensively in the case of an opponent trying to take their turn back. I wouldn't recommend doing this constantly. You don't want to flowchart it because it becomes predictable, but you can catch people off guard. So say for instance, I'll have Mai do a crouching light punch as a block reversal. It's going to be on 2 hits, so I'm going to hit her 2 times and she should be able to answer. Yeah, she should be able to answer. Yeah, with a crouch jab. So if I do crouch light punch at like a reasonable range and do the moon glider attack, I can back sway and punish her for trying to take her turn back. Like that. And if you're able to land this and can hit confirm, you can go straight into a super like a level 3. Yeah, and that's all because they try to take their turn back. Quite sneaky, quite sneaky. Now, Mai does have a follow-up after this attack as well in case you want to full send it. So just doing that move alone is relatively safe, as you can't really get punished directly. But you can do a follow-up like that with forward punch, and you're able to do a little dance that does more damage. But do note that if they do block it, it is minus in the double digits. Yeah, it's minus 13. So that's what it looks like on the regular version. And if you enhance that attack, she does a last like up kick follow-up. Onto Elena's super arts, in which she has 3 like most characters in the game. I stated earlier in this video that she has really good anti-airs. She also has a level 1 that works as an anti-air, and it was intended to be an anti-air, and it's actually invincible to jump in attacks. So as you can see right there, it didn't do too much damage, but as you saw, she did float for a little bit, so she can do a follow-up. So she can do a DP afterwards. Not just that, if you have more than 1 borrowed meter, you can actually do this 2 times in a row. And you can DP afterwards. So even though I did hype up her level 1, being the fact that you're able to use as a really good anti-air and you're able to do follow-ups afterwards, it is actually a poor reversal as it doesn't have any invincibility frames on it. So what this means is that, say for instance, as an example, if you're burnt out, as that happens a lot in Street Fighter 6, you're gonna get burnt out eventually, and your opponent has you in the corner and they go for their drive impact setup, you can't reversal level 1 confidently because you can get beat by the drive impact. Yeah, like majority of other characters, I don't even know what other character loses like that. Like, it's not consistent. So if you're a little bit slow, you're just gonna get hit. So that's very unfortunate. And you can grab her out of it. Yeah, I just grab her out of it. And you hit her out of it. So it's a very bad defensive option outside of anti-airing. That's going to be something that's going to be a little bit tricky with Elena, is that you are going to be possibly in trouble if you just only have 1 bar meter and you are burnt out. Elena's level 2 is pretty versatile, I would say. For starters, if you hold down on the D-pad or joystick, you can use her notorious healing mechanic, which I will say is nowhere near as potent as it was in Ultra Street Fighter 4, but it still gives you some life back, which is good if you want to go that route. And if you just want for raw damage, you don't have to hold down on the D-pad / joystick and get the full damage. What's good about the super is that it has pretty good range as well, so she just jumps really far to the opponent and just starts mauling them. And unlike her level 1, it is invincible. So say for instance, if you try to do like as a wake up attack, if I try to grab her, I'm just gonna get hit. That's definitely gonna be a good option if you're like burnt out and you need to like go into like a level 2 to get out of harm's way. Last but not least, we have Elena's level 3, in which she gets her soccer skills going on her critical art and honestly her regular level 3 as well. What's good about Elena's level 3, what's actually really good about her level 3, is that earlier we were talking about it could be a little bit hard to defend, say first in the corner against drive impact when burnt out. Her level 3 is core circle back motion. So what that means is that if you're crouch blocking and you're anticipating a drive impact to splat you, you're more prone to get your super out as opposed to other characters, as an example Cammy, where her level 3 is core circle forwards, because you can buffer the level 3 going backwards while still defending at the same time. So the chances of you getting hit is less than you doing like a core circle forward motion. That can come in handy just in case you know, your back is against the corner and you can just buffer into level 3 if you see a drive impact come out. Pretty good defensive super. Alright, now we're going to be looking at Elena's combos, in which you can get some really good damage with low drive gauge consumption at that, making her very resourceful, and I feel like really complements her gameplay. But if you guys are enjoying the video, and if you're looking to further expand your Street Fighter 6 knowledge or knowledge regarding competitive fighting games as a whole, head over to my Metafy at metafy.gg/@Cusco and join my free coaching community in which I post updates constantly talking about new tips, how to handle certain characters, and overall fighting game knowledge. If you would like one-on-one sessions, I can definitely have that arranged as well. Let's start off for light combos. You can do crouching light punch, crouching light kick, crouching light punch into core circle back light kick, like so. You can go DP afterwards instead. If you want to do that, you get more damage, but you do sacrifice Oki as I'm far away from Mai. You can also do core circle forward light kick, but reminder that this only lands if the opponent is standing and not crouching. Earlier I discussed that her crouch light punch is +5 on hit, meaning you can go for stand light kick, so you can do 2 crouching jabs into stand light kick. And from there you can go into a heavy DP. But you can't do a light core circle back light kick, that won't work. That would work, the core circle forward light kick, but as long as they're standing. So I do like to go for DP if I'm going for damage after the stand light kick. And if you want to go for a drive rush combo out of the lights, say for instance if you want to go for the kill and dump all your resources, or maybe you want to get a little bit more damage and push them closer to the corner, you can do a drive rush into jab after these lights, as the drive rush jab would be +9, like that, allowing you to combo into a crouching heavy punch, which is 9 frames and also forces standing. So you can actually do this out of stand light kick as well. Or if you just want to do crouching jabs, that will also connect as well. So after the crouching jab, a drive rush, you just want to go into a crouch heavy punch, and the core circle back heavy kick, into core circle forward medium kick. We discussed Elena's crouching medium kick earlier on in the video, in which I was saying that it's +4 on hit, which does allow you to combo into a down jab or a crouching light punch. And you can go into core circle back light kick. What's great about her crouching medium kick, well, I use the word great even though that move can definitely use some love, is that on counter hit it is +5. So if you are playing in the neutral, you can this time cancel into stand light kick. So it's +4 and then it's +6 on counter hit. So it's really good if you interrupt someone trying to hit a button. You can go for the combo of crouch medium kick and the stand light kick heavy DP. Same applies to what we saw earlier. You can dump all your resources if you want to do that. Out of crouching medium punch, you can hit confirm and go for core circle back medium kick. And then you can also go straight into crouching heavy punch if you want to drive rush it, like that. You get some combos out of her hit confirmable stand heavy punch, which you're able to go into a heavy DP. Keep in mind that if you're too far, like say if I'm right here, it won't connect. So you have to be very close to the opponent to get the heavy DP to come out. If you're further away from the opponent, you can spend 2 bars of meter to go for core circle forward 2 light kicks. So if I'm like right here, I can do that and it will combo just fine. And since you're doing EX, you're allowed to cancel into level 2s when you do EX moves. So that does give Elena the ability to go straight into her level 2 super. So from here, you can go for full damage, or you can heal yourself. So Elena can do really good damage off of 1 drive bar out of a punish counter. So say for instance Mai did like an EX DP, I block and I get the punish counter. The target combo 3 heavy punches are really good in this instance or in this scenario. And you can drive rush after and do a combo like that. So how I did that combo is that you're going to do the 3 heavy punch back to back to get the target combo. After that's done, you're going to drive rush after. You're going to do crouching medium punch into core circle back medium kick. And then during the core circle back medium kick, as we saw earlier, we can cancel that into the Linux song, which allows her to roll forward, gaining options to new moves. And then you're going to do the forward medium kick after the Linux song, which is to have to pop them back up. And then you're going to go for the DP. So it's going to look like this. And you can get even more damage if you're closer to the corner. After you do the Link Song forward medium kick to get the pop up like that, you can actually do core circle forward light kick as they're in the mid-air, and as they're falling down you can go for a medium DP if they're into the corner. So that's gonna look like this. It's situational, but the more you play Elena, you're gonna get used to seeing it. And right there, that was 3947 off of 1 bar drive gauge punish counter, and I was like mid-screen close to the corner. If someone does a EXDP in the corner, you can get even more damage, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. 4,133 off of 1 bar of drive gauge, and you didn't even spend any super meter. Feel free to get creative when dumping all your resources. You can get some pretty useful combos out of the target combo she does in the sky with jump medium punch, jump heavy punch. So you can go for the core circle forward 2 kicks like that. You can do a core circle forward light kick, but it's not 100% consistent. It depends on the arc of the jump. Like right there, it's gonna drop. So if you meet her in the skies and jump or fall down a little bit faster than she does, then you can get the core circle forward light kicks. And what's great about this as well is that, say for instance, if you're wanting to close out a match or you're anticipating your opponent's jump, you can definitely close out games by going straight into level 2 after the EX core circle forward 2 light kicks or core circle forward 2 kicks. We learned about Elena's moves, the properties within those moves, as well as some of her combos to score some high damage. Lastly, it's just her strategy, in which me as an Elena player, well, an Elena pocket, I mean Cammy, I don't necessarily mean Elena, at least not yet, but I like to harass with stand heavy kick. I like to do crouch medium kick just to clip them low. Even though this button isn't amazing, it still does prevent them from being able to walk back comfortably. Just basically checking them, getting plus frames, and then chipping away at their health gauge. The stand light kick as a stop sign in case they try to approach. The overhead is good for closing out games. And then her anti-airs are very, very, very good. So as long as you're sharpening up your skills on anti-airing when it comes to like DPs, you can definitely force them to play the ground game, in which they have to deal with this button, they have to deal with that into like confirms, and then the stop sign and crouch medium kick. As long as you can apply those tools, your Elena can definitely be pretty good. And then you can also start mixing in the Linux song stuff to spice things up. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of footage of me just playing Elena, just to show you guys or demonstrate just how I pilot her in actual matches. Alright. Oh, he's super aggro. Fun. I definitely EXDP, excuse me. Not close enough. See, I'm not really doing much. I'm just playing the neutral game and threatening with my buttons, and then trying to anti him if he tries to jump. There we go. Oh, it's too slow. Now I'm dead for it. Oh, he messed up. Oops. I gotta hit confirm. I gotta hit confirm in a dream, brother. Ah, shoot. I got it. I got it. I got it. That sucks. Golly. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Wow. That's not the combo there. It's okay though. Ah, could have whip punished. I trolled. Oh no. I'll take it. But yeah, as you guys can see there, I didn't really do anything too flashy. I didn't do anything too crazy for Elena. I just mainly, you know, approach with walking roundhouse, like heavy kick. I would do crouch medium kicks here and there. I would go for whip punishes and then DP with anti-air. I mainly just rely on her neutral tools as well as her DP because she has really good anti-airs. See, there's the anti-air if they try to jump. There's the stop sign stand light kick if they try to approach. There's the whip punish. Ah. Back. Oh, whoops. I did the wrong input. There you go. You just suffocate him. You just walk him down menacingly. Whoops. That was an accident. So what I'm doing is just suffocating them. I'm making them play my game. I try not to let them get anything started, and I basically try to be a wall, and he just one and done. He's scared of the Elena. He one and done. That's gonna conclude the Elena guide. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so very much. I hope I was able to teach you guys a couple of things regards to Street Fighter and Elena as a whole. If you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I will try my best to answer that. As well, head over to my Metafy at metafy.gg/@Cusco as I post tips regarding all things fighting games as well as Street Fighter specifically as well. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Take care.